decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Board chat, signal
What was all that? I don't know what all that was. But hey, folks. Yo, I think that was Tate doing his own intro music, but
that was not me.
It was kind of good, whatever it was. Hey, I'll tell y'all what. So first of all, folks, let me tell you again, thank you very much, and welcome to the Big BoneYard. I think we're gonna have some fun tonight. I think we actually are. I'm trying to play with the thing so I can see what's going on behind me there. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Big BoneYard, folks. I'm glad y'all are here, and I think we're gonna have some fun tonight. And as y'all see, we actually get to enjoy having some special guests with us tonight, and I think it's gonna be cool. So first of all, going from my right, from my left to my right, we got my man Tate from A-Bait, and we literally say it like that. Tate from A-Bait. Welcome to the Big BoneYard, man.
Thank you.
So I'll tell y'all real quick about Tate. Tate is, and we tease him all the time, and we say, man, he is the smartest 12-year-old that we know, because Tate is the president of Lake County chapter of A-Bait. And when I tell you, one, he's a legacy because his whole damn family has been involved in the motorcycle culture for decades. And he has, I ain't gonna kiss your ass too much, but he's single-handedly moved his chapter and the state of Florida as far as A-Bait and a lot of things we do. He's moved this shit forward. I'm talking with forward thinking, because at one point A-Bait was like us, a bunch of 92-year-old fellas who sit around sipping on coffee talking about the motorcycles they used to ride. He put a whole what I call a new jack spin on that shit, and now there's like young folks involved in A-Bait who's doing the damn thing. So Tate, so thank you for what you do, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for letting me be here, brother.
Right on. And now, without further ado, I get to do it like that, Pac. Look, my man Pac, y'all already know that's my brother. I got mad love for him. Pac, one of the most impressive individuals that I know, did great things with getting Ice Cold Riders started in Minot, North Dakota. This man is a traveler. This man is a ground pounder. This man is he's a legit biker who came up all kinds of the right way. But in the meantime, Big BoneYard, please help me give a warm welcome to my motherfucking brother, Sean Pac.
What's up? It's been here a minute. It's good to be here for a minute. Life is busy, man.
I want y'all to make sure that y'all don't forget to send me my check for those intros, though, because Cashapp, Zelle,
I'll catch you in Tallahassee.
But yo, for real, I'm real glad y'all are here, man, and I think we definitely gonna have some fun. I see a lot of folks joining us tonight. Miami, oh shit, hey boo, but see Miami up here, all kinds of folks. Steven Stahl, all right, that's what's up. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight. But so allow me to go ahead and do something that we always do. We always talk about. So the group of us, we are involved with our respective organizations. So having said that, we want to do the disclaimer, which is we're going to talk about a lot of things we always do. Whatever we say and whatever we're talking about, these words are our words, our opinions. They're not representative of our clubs or organizations in any fashion. This is what we do, what we think, our opinions, and our opinions only. Again, they are not reflective of the opinions or positions of any of our respective organizations. So we got that. Y'all got that on tape? You're recorded? Okay, cool. All right, we good. But anyway, yeah, so, and let me ask, I'm going to be all kinds of nosy because, first of all, with your ass, like on tape, what did you do this weekend? And the reason I'm going to ask you that, usually, me and AB, we do that back and forth quite a bit because we're always doing stuff. But your ass is doing stuff all the time. What'd you do, man? What'd you do this weekend?
So Friday I worked, dropped my daughter off with my mom, went to a bike night at one of our local bars that we do bike night at once a month. Saturday went to work, went to a celebration of life for one of our members. That was a big help in our toy drive every year. She passed away. We went to a celebration of life for her, had the Christmas party last night, and went and picked my daughter up, got home in time to do this.
Oh, right on. Right on. Okay. Well, that's actually for you. That's kind of like not even all that bad.
That's a light weekend.
Yeah, for you, that's a very light weekend. I've seen you circumnavigate the state. I've seen you do thousands of miles and never actually got out of the state in the same weekend. I'm like, how do you do that? But it's Florida, so possibility. I'll tell you this a sidebar, and I really am gonna get off of this and stop kissing y'all's ass in a minute. But the two of y'all, Pac and Tate, y'all remind me very much of each other in the sense that Pac has done some phenomenal things. We were talking about it earlier up in Minot, and he's a real humble kind of brother, so he don't like the accolades. I already know that, but Pac has done some phenomenal things in that community in North Dakota. And the funny thing is, I don't see that a lot. I mean, I see a lot of people working hard to try to get a good result, right? But Pac has gotten huge results. The closest thing to something like that I've seen is actually with you, Tate, because your chapter, you've got, I don't think it's a secret, but I think you have the largest chapter of ABATE in the state of Florida. Is that right?
We're either largest or the second. I think Southeast may have more than us, but not to put them down, the majority of our members aren't club members. They got a large club presence in Southeast where we don't.
Like a lot of MCs are members, whereas yours are more citizens, as we call
civilians.
Them. More civilians. Okay, so all right, let's go ahead and put some folks to shame, if you don't mind. I don't know if you can talk about it. Give or take, how many members do you think you might have?
I think right now we're at just under 300. I think we just hit 300 with a few that transferred from Vintage, which closed a couple months ago.
Damn, 300. 300. Damn. All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. This motherfucker just said 300. But anyway, I mean, I knew that, but I mean, I knew it was a lot. I didn't realize it was that much.
We're definitely
honestly, God, I was thinking it was like 200 and 220 or something like that. But everybody keeps saying, man, y'all show up, it's like a freaking army.
Oh yeah.
I remember we've done some things together, and I'm like, damn, is there enough of these motherfuckers? It's like, anyway. But having said that, Pac, brother,
what's up?
Now, word on the street is that you've been sleeping for 3 days straight. You won't go to work. You won't ride a motorcycle. What's going on? What did you do this weekend, man?
Man, I went to work. Getting my house ready for Christmas. My daughter's coming down here. We moved to Arlington, so my daughter's coming down here on Saturday.
That's what's up.
We got the tree up and blowing leaves because it's not snow here. It's like leaves everywhere. So we just blowing leaves. That's about it, man.
Yo, sounds like Florida.
So has it been a big change going from north to south like that?
Man, it's like we sit out on the porch and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes right now. I just came in from being outside. The weather, it gets chilly, but it don't get cold. Like none of your bones cold. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, I know what you mean, because you made my ass go to North Dakota a couple of times, so I do understand.
Exactly. So it's nowhere near that way, but it's pretty cool. I like it. There's a lot of stuff to do. I miss my bros, in my club, but it's like a lot of stuff to do. I talk to them on chat whenever I want to talk to them. So it's all good. We still connected. I'm trying to talk them into trying to come down here and visit soon.
Right on. Right, man. Look, that'll be what's up. And a couple of one Ice Cold Rider and one Goon Squad dude actually relocated here to Florida, and I fuck with them like every chance I get, really. Because there's E's here. We've been talking a little bit more on Facebook, believe it or not. He's on. In case y'all haven't had a chance to, go to Facebook and find the Big BoneYard. It's a Facebook group, but he just jumped on there here recently. But also Jig, talk to Jig all the time. But great guys, and they're both here. I know them through you, Pac, and in North Dakota, and they in Florida. That, as the world turns type shit. But yeah, man, me. all I did this weekend was, man, just business administration. I felt like a straight nerd this weekend because I was behind the computer and pecking away at things and doing papers and having meetings, and I put on a time or two over the weekend too. I was doing like grown up type shit. I didn't even get to get my bike on, but also it rained like it was like a bad thunderstorm here. So it was, in Florida when
Tropical storm.
yeah. It's like they didn't even. People was telling me, man, I'm seeing videos of like lakes or excuse me, neighborhoods flooded and stuff. And I'm like, in Florida, that's par for the course. That storm don't even get a name. That's just some storm number 5, right? But it's Florida, so that's the thing you got to deal with. You got to pay the price to live in paradise or whatever. But anyway, I'll tell you what, man. So here's what we're talking about tonight. So the name of this particular show is, if I can pull it up, because for some reason it didn't go in there properly, but I'll just tell you what it is. It was, all right, I don't see it, but anyway, basically it was bikers, men of war, that's what it was. It was bikers, men of war, or men of peace. And what we were talking about, off the show, was really, I'll read this thing to you, the description, like I always do. But it says, so it's been said that you can't truly call yourself peaceful if you aren't capable of great violence. So if you're not capable of violence, you aren't peaceful. You're harmless. So if that's the case, how does this work in an MC? Because sometimes this bike life can be real aggressive, to say the least. But are you willing to pay the consequences? Or do you even need to? So that's kind of what we're talking about tonight on the Big BoneYard. And to kind of point us in the right direction. A lot of clubs, and we don't like to, on this show or other places, we don't really like to put a whole lot of attention on the negative. But, just kind of renew the Big BoneYard's intention to keep it 100. We're going to keep it a buck all the time. Guess what? On the set, in this bike life, sometimes folks don't get along. Sometimes that group of guys don't get along with that group of guys for whatever the reason. Sometimes that man don't get along with that man for whatever the reason, and shit goes south. So we kind of want to delve into that a little bit, and first figure out, like, first of all, what kind of beef makes somebody even have to get to the point to where it's got to get violent. So like, what kind of shit? I know that's a loaded question, ain't it?
Money and women, most of the time, those are the things that people can't take. Money and women.
Money and women.
Money and women. If it's some honorable shit, it's your word. If it's like just some honorable shit, it's your word. But most of the time, it's just money and women.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing. So, and I look, and I got to do the amen corner with you right here. But so money and women for sure. So the last time that you saw, you don't got to do no names. I'll ask you, Tate. Last time you saw two guys get into it, what was it about?
A woman.
Okay.
Exactly.
Was that woman who did that woman, forgive the expression, ladies, I know y'all gonna get mad, but who did that woman belong to?
Really nobody. She's
Okay.
she's a known house mouse for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So she's willing. I mean, if Pot came down here for the weekend, she'd probably try to throw it at him.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
He's like, no, not happening.
Now, man, you just messed that up. He ain't never gonna be able to come here now. You just messed it up.
I'll keep her away.
Life is choices. You make good choices. You ain't got a trip.
That part. But so, how did those fellas resolve that issue, or is it still going on, or what?
This is almost a year old, and they work together. It's two of my members, and they work together, and they still don't talk. One hasn't been to a meeting since.
Wow. Okay. All right. So there's been no resolution.
No.
All right. So did those guys beat the hell out of each other, or was it just sort of like a little tussling, or what?
It was a little tussle inside the bar, and then once we split them up, one left, the other one stayed, and the one that left, unfortunately, hasn't been back. He was a real good guy too. We had some issues in the past, and man had my back 100%. Unfortunately, this shit went down and he ain't been back. I mean, I talk to him every once in a while and keep in touch, but.
So if I got it right, that silly shit basically cost the organization because those two clowns can't get, well, I don't know them like that, but they can't get it right. So for that reason, both of them kind of check out, and the organization.
Well, one checked out, the other one's still around.
Okay.
And why, I have no idea, but he's still messing around with the bitch.
Was one of them right, or was like in your?
Once I sat down and figured out what all went down with the whole situation,
yeah,
the one that left, I feel, was in the right.
Okay. But he was doing it. Well,
yeah, that's the issue. And I mean, this dude, he set up different events for us. He'd go to chili cook-offs that had nothing to do with the MC community bikes at all, and would do chili cook-offs, would smoke friggin' pork butts and chickens for us. We had a shrimp boil we did every year, and he set that whole thing up. I mean, to me, it hurt us not only losing him, but financially, because that brought in a lot of money.
Shit. All right. Well, let me ask you, Pac, because and it sounds like that's, and don't get me, it ain't good to have that sort of fighting and all like that, but a good old fashioned bar fight or something like that, or a tussle over a chick, that's where a lot of it starts. But Pac, I know in your case, you've seen some real unfortunate stuff, coming from, without putting all your shit out there, but you're a LA dude. So by default, being from LA at your age, chances are you've seen some crazy shit. What's the worst kind of thing you might have seen without, naming names or whatever?
I don't know, man. It's like you see so much in the motorcycle. I mean, before I did motorcycling, I seen shit all the time. But in the motorcycling, just, I don't know, people getting socked on and slapped up and just accepted,
Yeah.
And I like to think that, like, violence, man, it's like we're kind of old now to do violence, but I got a saying that sometimes violence is like a sword, so you got to unsheath it sometimes, so people can see that you're capable of wielding it. Yeah. And you don't wield it all the time because it takes a bigger person to try to communicate and talk it out and figure it out. But if your line has been crossed, what can you do? And the cold part about it is that if you portray yourself to be that guy, that will perpetuate violence, it's going to be expected. You know what I mean? That's how come it's not good to be in this and be something you're not, because sooner or later somebody gonna pull your card, and if you ain't that, you're not gonna come back around. You know what I mean? You hurt feelings. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be a bad thing. So the best thing you can do is just be yourself, man. And then you won't even have to deal with no violence unless somebody put their hands on you. What's his name? Hardcore told me the coolest thing. You can say whatever you want, but keep your hands, your feet, and your spit to yourself, and it won't be no problem.
Yeah, there you go. Don't start none, won't be none. But,
exactly.
But you're killing me right now, because I swear this is a thing that I have this conversation a lot. Now, usually it's with new guys coming into a club. I'm constantly telling these guys, look, if you're a scientist, be a scientist. If you're a nerd, be a nerd. If you're a tough guy, be a tough guy. If you don't drink whiskey, don't start now. Like, be whoever you are, because eventually, if you make it like you're some knuckle dragging, head banging so-and-so, that club is going to come a calling, because when they need a knuckle dragging, head banging so-and-so, they're going to come and call it. The same way they will when they need a scientist, or we need a computer geek to fix something in the clubhouse, or the security's messed up or whatever. The club will come a calling.
Right.
And the question is, are you going to answer it, or are you going to be the habita? And when you come across like you, the knuckle dragging badass, that ain't the time to be what I really meant was, what I was trying to say was, that could be a whole different situation.
It don't pay to be that guy, man. It's like this. And our club, I have a saying I used to say, everybody, if it's a wheel and a hub, every spoke is important. You know what I mean? To make that wheel go. You might not be a rider, but you might be the bro that somebody call and talk to. You might not be a dude that can get down, but you might be the dude that's quick to come and help a bro fix something. So everybody's part is important. Just play your part. And as long as it go down, you don't run, that's cool. But if we know that you ain't about that life, we're gonna push you to the back and say, hey, go over there, get out the way. You know what I mean? And let somebody take care of this. But a lot of people don't realize that, because when they throw that vest on, everybody turns into Superman. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing is you need to be Superman without the vest. You know what I mean? You need to be who you are before you put it on. When you put it on, it's just whatever, because when you take it off, you're still you.
Wait a minute. I thought, but see, I think you're telling me something wrong, because I thought when you put on that vest, you become 10 foot tall, you are bulletproof, and you got a 12-inch boom. Your head is 12 inches. Isn't that how it worked? Because really, because I don't know. I mean, I see some new guys that I swear, and you know, one of the things that I was talking about, we were having a conversation with some guys in the COC, and we was kind of clowning on some of these new cats with this one certain club, and man, and you know, we had like 3-4 different cats had to reel them cats in because we was at a big old gathering. They was now in the COC, in this particular COC environment, this was peace, love, all the above. It was actually a state COC meeting that I had a few weeks ago. Got a lot of stuff done, and it was legit peace, love, all the above. Everybody was on the same sheet of music, so to speak. But them new cats, you know, they got 20 minutes in a full set of rags, you know. They coming with it, right? Well, hey, yeah, calm down. This ain't the place for that. Like, you save that for when we need it. And the funny thing was, something happened with one of these clubs. I'm going to censor the hell out of myself right now, but something kicked off about 2 weeks after that, and that same dude who was like that, dude, softer than drugstore cotton. I mean, softer than drugstore cotton. They said the dude told me he wouldn't throw a brick in a blackout, and I was like, wait a minute, that's one of them AB sayings. And the dude, it was a white dude that said that to me. Oh, he wouldn't da 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 da. He wouldn't bust a grape. Wouldn't da 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 da. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you sure? I'm like, you talking about the mad pit bull type dude that was here? Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. And the fact that there was some jewelry involved didn't mean a damn, because apparently, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe when you put them rags on, maybe they don't make you 10 foot tall and or bulletproof. And he wasn't willing. He wasn't trying to find out, apparently, neither. But so on the so since you talk about MCs on the set, so what's the situation as it relates to when it comes to clubs? Because of course we know sometimes brothers fight. You know, we get into it with each other and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times, you know, in most cases, God willing, those are situations where other brothers are going to intervene and be like, hey, remind y'all, you know, somebody's there to kind of govern the situation, for lack of a better way to put it. But what if it's a situation where it's us against them? It's us against them. Is that an opportunity? Like, where's the opportunity for cooler heads to prevail? Or is it one of those, if everybody's made the decision, fuck it, we going in, we getting ready to do this. We getting ready to mix it up. We getting ready, you know, do this thing. How do cooler heads prevail in that situation? Or should they? What do you think? Tate, tell me about it.
I can't really speak on clubs, but I think it would make more sense if you can calm shit down before it escalates to that point. Because let's face it, the MC community as a whole, whether you're a writing organization, an MRO, a club, a diamond, it don't matter. We all have a bad rep because it's, oh, they're on a motorcycle, they're, you know, they're criminals, they're, for lack of a better term, they're all gang members, which that ain't the case. I mean, there is some organizations that may have ex-gang members or even current gang members among their ranks, but one bad apple doesn't ruin the whole bunch. And we, as a whole, in the whole community, need to keep it to where all the bad publicity we can get rid of. Because if we can get rid of the bad publicity, then maybe they'll start covering the good things we do, like the toy runs or the poker rides for somebody that had an accident, or like the Moose Riders do a ride every year for headstones for kids that's families can't afford them. But none of that shit's ever in the public, nobody knows about it other than those of us that go to these events, because the news don't care about the good shit we do. They care about all the negative.
It's not sexy, but hold
No.
on. Let's see who's giving us a call. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling. You reached the Big BoneYard. You got Big Bone, 1%er. You got Tate from A-Bait and Sean Pock. What's going on? Who is this?
This is Lady Black.
Lady Black. What is going on? One of my favorite folks ever. How you doing, Lady Black?
I'm doing good.
You might meet. So for those of y'all that don't know, Lady Black went through a nasty. First of all, this is a woman who rides her shit from state to state like it ain't nothing to it. And one of the concerns is that that happens. You know, when we ride motorcycles, sometimes things happen, and something happened to her. If you don't mind me saying so, she had a nasty accident, and in true Lady Black fashion, she bounced right the hell back. It's been a little slow recovery, but I'm glad to hear from you. Very glad to hear from you. But I don't know if you're the right person for this, because you're violent ass. We're trying to get people to embrace the healing and the love and stuff, and then you call on here, and I feel like a hypocrite now. But no, but real talk. So what's going on? What's on your mind, Lady Black?
Well, no, you were talking about how fights happen and things like that,
Yeah.
And being a national PO, as you know, I follow an example of my sponsor, and I ride my shit.
Right,
so
right.
I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them females that drives around in my car and shows up at every event and is on Facebook every week trying to impress the brothers or impress the men around and basically, excuse my language, but I kind of call them a cum bucket, But
Right.
I also believe that some of these fights, you keep these girls around, it's the brother's fault, or the boss's fault. Sometimes you gotta let a bitch go. Sometimes you gotta just say, listen, you're not allowed around here no more.
Okay.
Even though it's a guaranteed thing, it's gotta go.
Yeah, like you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying sometimes you just gotta, cut it off at the source, so to speak.
Exactly. That way it doesn't involve or get involved in the brotherhood. Because what people don't understand is, even as a female rider, MC in this world, it's a brotherhood. It's not a female world. It's a brotherhood. It's an MC. This shit started years and years and years ago. I've been riding for over 25 years.
Right.
I've got more time in the club than some brothers.
Right.
So I just feel like sometimes to eliminate the fights between brothers and a lot of the stuff that doesn't need to happen can be cut off if the brothers, instead of thinking with their pants, think about their brothers and say, you know what, this particular female's trouble. I mean, there's plenty of females out there willing to give tail, but at the same time, let the ones that give tail that are respectful.
Right.
If you want to go out with one that's disrespectful, take her outside and then make her leave.
What's the responsibility?
Have Uber on speed dial.
Well, let me ask you this: what's the responsibility of females on the set, women on the set, especially in the club environment? Because you got ladies that are female members of WMCs, you got POs, you got social clubs, you got all these different women. What if anything is their responsibility to make sure that chicks like that don't turn into that in the first place, and or calling a bitch out, like, because people say it's a man's club and all like that.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question, and I could answer that.
Please do.
There are some brothers who don't mind, like, mind you, I happen to be in the 1% world, but I know plenty of females in the MC and the 99ers or social clubs or, you know, riding clubs, whatever. Right. And, you know, in certain atmospheres, certain brothers will give POs of another brother the right to make decisions on their part, you know? As when you see a girl drinking too much or acting a fool and you know she's going to cause a problem, it gets very sticky sometimes, because if you step in to kind of help the girl out, give her some water, take her outside, get her some air, and make sure she don't cause any problems, given being a PO, sometimes the bros don't like that, you know, or the ones that are wanting that tail.
Right. Okay. I see.
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful on which female you're trying to help, because you won't want to get yourself into a situation where now you're becoming the target, you know, of getting in trouble.
Right. So you're saying
now,
like instead of
being.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. That was, I'm saying, that's across the board, but that it really tends to go to more of the 1% world. Because if you get a PO that's in the 1% world and she goes to an MC club or a social club, there's nobody that's going to fuck with her. So if she turns around and tries to solve a situation, they know that, especially me, I'm going to whoop your ass. You know, I don't take any shit. If I'm trying to help you out and you ain't taking the help, you got to go. And if you don't go, I'm going to make sure you go.
Right on. Okay.
You know, because those brothers in the MC or the 99 or the social club or the riding clubs and whatnot, they're not on the level that I'm at. So, but a lot of people who know me, they know how I am, so they don't act that way around me. But that doesn't, I'm just talking about myself.
Yeah.
But as far as other females, I know plenty of females who've been on a set 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And we try very hard, no matter what clubhouse we go to make sure that things go right for the brothers, you know? But there are some times where there's brothers who they step in and they say, nah, you know, like, don't fuck with her. You know, we you know, I want that. I want that.
So
sometimes you got to take a step back, even though you know it's not right. You got to take that step back because it's not your place if a brother says no. So unfortunately, you can try to help and you can and try to step in and be helpful and solve a situation before it even starts. But there's a fine line. And I think it takes years of being on the set to understand that fine line. You know? Someone who's green to the set doesn't know that.
Is this something, and this is all good stuff. So I'm wondering, do you personally take time out to, you see it's a new sister on the set, even if she's not from your area, she's from wherever the fuck. Do you take time out to like pull her coat and be like, hey, little sister, let me hip you to a thing or two? Or do you say, all right, let me fall back and just see how this bitch do?
No. Absolutely. I've actually had new sisters call me up and ask me, and they don't know me they just know of me.
Right.
And they've reached out, and I've guided some, you know, some have said, you know, my sponsor doesn't take me here, doesn't take me there because he thinks I'll get mad if he's with another chick or this or that or whatever. I said, listen, have you sit down and spoken with him and expressed that? Because he might think that you're on some other level,
right?
You know. And she's like, no, I haven't. I said, well, you might want to have that conversation, you know, because there should be nothing that the two of you don't know, because at the end of the day, you got to have one another's back.
Okay.
And you know what? This was about 4 years ago. And you know, that sister's still on the set.
Okay.
And she goes everywhere now because she took the advice. And then I had a brother, you know, who turned around. I didn't want to get involved. And he looked at me, he said, listen, you're the big sister. He goes, listen, if you see any of my POs doing something wrong or the new ones, he goes, You know, you're the big sis. Take time out, and if you can, you know, if they have questions, answer them. Try to guide them in the right direction. But then there's brothers who don't want you to do that because they don't want the POs because they're not going to last more than 6 months or 3 months because it's just a temporary situation because they'll throw a vest on their back, rags, and just they don't want them to know about the set too much. So they don't really want that female to reach out to anybody. So you really have to be careful and know your bros.
Okay.
You have to know your bros.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. We say that all the time. Let me ask you this. One thing, well, actually, I got 2 questions. The first one is, as you interact with, because I know both of our guests tonight, great guys, both of them, and both of them have some fantastic women by their side, both of them. And let's say we find ourselves in the same place. We're over at our place doing our thing. They show up with their old ladies. Are you the one? Because I've seen a little both. Are you the one who's going to be like, I would be the one, or like, hey, how you doing? Welcome here. Let me introduce you. What you drinking?
I would welcome them with open arms.
Okay.
No, I would absolutely welcome them. You show love, you get love.
Okay.
If someone's taking the time to come to the clubhouse, and show love and spend some time to get into the brotherhood and bring their wives or their girlfriends or significant others,
Right on.
you show the same love as a female. You don't turn your head up because you happen to be in a few of a 1% brother, you show love, and at the end of the day, that female's going to feel, comfortable about her man going there again.
Okay.
Or she might want to come with him again.
Okay.
Right. So at the end of the day, it doesn't, whether it's a male or female, you show love, you get love. You don't turn your nose up in the air. You don't disrespect nobody. You stay in your lane, you ride your shit, and you just know your bros and know your sisters.
Okay. Would you read my shirt? I think you might have been reading my shirt. I can't prove it, but you might have been. Because there's some stuff on there. What is this thing? Pay my dues, fuck with my bros, ride my shit. In fact, you got a shirt like that. You got a shirt like that that's coming to you, by the way. Which you already knew that. I told you about that.
Well,
earlier.
I've been waiting. Listen, I've been waiting
18 years.
I've been with you since the show started.
Yes, and I'm trying to tell you.
I've been waiting for my package.
You know what happens? In my head, I think you're going to just show up at the clubhouse and I'm just going to give it to you. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we wrap up this show.
Even if I showed up at the clubhouse, you wouldn't even have it. You'd be like, oh.
He forgot it at the house.
Yo, I'll keep it a buck. It's Pac's fault.
Oh, shit.
Listen, I know my bros. Okay.
Yeah. Yo, I'll tell you what though, real talk. Earlier, getting set up for the show, Miami came and she said, because her daughter did a great photo shoot. I think I threw up some of the pictures in a video of some of the merch that's coming out for 2024, and her daughter was like modeling some of the stuff, and she said off rip, she's like, did you send Lady Black that package? I'm like, yeah, and of course, so like I said, it's Pac's fault though, because
I heard that.
But I do have one more question though.
Pac, is it your fault, Pac?
No. No, not at all.
Pac's like,
I have nothing. I have nothing.
Yo, one more question for you though. As far as the violence, because there's arguments, a lot of women talk shit or whatever like that happens, but have you seen in your time, and you've been doing this for a minute, what's the most violent thing you've seen happen amongst women, either a woman getting into it with a dude or a couple of women or however? What's the most violent thing you've seen? You don't got to do no names.
I can tell you I've seen men pull some guys' eyeball sockets out. I've seen, broken nose. I've seen people shot. I've seen.
I mean, women though. Women.
Stabbing.
But what are women doing?
Same thing.
Oh, damn.
Same thing. Women are crazy.
See, that's why I don't hang out with you, because
Women are crazy.
I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe where you at.
Listen, you're my brother. You should always feel safe.
Hell yeah, I do. I had to come at you a little something.
You know,
I know
you should always feel safe. But at the end of the
I
day,
do.
you know, my brothers and my sisters, my number one priority. And you know, whether or not I fuck with that brother or sister, that's still my brother or sister.
Right on.
And if I'm there and something happens, you know, don't think that I ain't gonna, you know, tear some shit up, because I'm nice and I'm a sweetheart. I'll give you a shirt off my back. I don't want you to drive drunk. I will take you home. I will ride you home, you know, or get an Uber or a cab, whatever, you know, make sure you're straight. But, you know, at the same time, don't get it twisted. If it comes down to it, there's a point where you gotta do what you gotta do, whether it be something simple as just, you know, escorting somebody out or dragging somebody out.
Okay.
You know, but the violence, I agree with Pac. I agree with the other guy. You know, a lot of it has to do with drinking and women, and you know, I mean, that's you know, listen, for 75 plus years, this all has been going on, and you're talking about, you know, the same shit for 75 years plus years, and it hasn't changed. So women aren't going anywhere. You know, drinking, all the other stuff that goes with it, none of that's going anywhere anytime soon.
All right.
So unfortunately, you got to leave it up to the bosses. You know, how strong is that boss? How strong is those top four for that club to make sure that their members don't fall into the cracks of getting involved or fighting over a female.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Make sure if that female still comes around, make sure listen, you gotta tell her to go.
Okay.
Because
Well,
she's gonna cause a problem again.
all right. Well, let me jump in there with you, Pac. And Lady Black, as always, I love hearing you speak about whatever you're speaking about, because you always keep it a buck, and you're always very insightful. So I always appreciate hearing your take on stuff. Pac, I was going to ask you. So that saying in the part, that first piece was, you can't truly call yourself peaceful if you aren't capable of great violence. And of course, if you're not capable, if you're not capable of violence, you aren't peaceful, you're harmless. Now, to delve into that a little bit, so to take it a little further, if somebody is not, for whatever reason, just not made that way, right? How do you differentiate between a dude who's just, hey, that ain't how I move, to a dude being a straight coward who won't defend his brothers or his sisters if the time comes up? How do you know the difference? Or is there a difference? Is that important?
That's a lot right there, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Honestly, I just think it comes down to this. Everybody got their point, man. The dude that can't throw a blow, he got that one thing that'll trigger him and make him go berserker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody is just harmless, man, because everybody is given a choice. Some people are more willing to let things just be like a duck and roll off their back, right? Some people are that way, and some people are high temper. So it's not the fact that you're harmless. It's just the fact that maybe you've mastered self-control. Because a lot of this shit is just self-control, man.
Okay.
I mean, because a lot of things that people fight over, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? And is the consequences worth it?
That's
the consequence. Are you willing to deal with those consequences? Some things is just that line, your line, it's no doubt. It's like, this is what it is. You touch my bro, you touch me, touch my family, we gonna get down. But other than that, cooler heads can prevail as long as the dude ain't being a jerk or trying to be disrespectful. Then you have to slap him up some. But if a person could have a good dialogue, most of this shit could be avoided. You know what I mean? Most of this shit could be avoided. And I'm learning, being here, it's like how do you say this? Coming from up there in the oil field, you tell a motherfucker, bitch, motherfucker, get out your truck. I want to see you right now. You know, like
Right,
we
right.
got to get down. You was disrespectful. It's not even on no MC shit. This is just some work shit. I
Yeah,
want to see
yeah,
you. But here, it's like you have me. I have to temper down because I'm in a whole different environment. So it's like I was talking to my wife about that. It's like you a lion, but you gotta act like a cheetah because these dudes don't want to see that.
yeah,
And it's like but when your line gets crossed, you know what you capable of doing. So I just think it's the situation
yeah.
and being older to be able to let certain things go, have a good dialogue, and when your line get crossed, just slap a motherfucker up real quick, and they won't cross
Yeah.
it again.
Gotcha. So you're capable of it. You just don't have to do it.
Yeah,
Right. So
everybody's capable.
okay, gotcha. Because there
Even
was
even if you don't win, that's the coldest part about fighting. And
yeah,
I'll never forget my grandma told me when I was little, they came to my house, 6 boys. Mrs. Thompson, send your son out, send your grandson out here. You gonna beat his ass. I'm up in the house after school, and she was like, either you go out there and fight them, or I'm gonna beat your ass in here. And you know what I did? I went out the gate,
yeah,
got in the street. My uncles, my aunties, my grandma, my great grandma was all on the porch. Get him. Hey, get off what? Boop, boop, bop, boop, bop. But
yeah.
I learned that ass whooping only lasts a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, but them dudes never fuck with me again because they knew I was going to get in.
Right, right.
And
I
that's
think
a lesson I learned at 6 years old.
oh
So
yeah,
that's been with me my whole life.
Oh yeah.
facts. It's the same way on the set. There's a certain here I go with my censorship. There's a certain club that showed up on the set. A certain other group of cats didn't care for them. And they elected to enact violence upon them. And what they didn't know was one of those certain individuals, which I'll tell you who he is, talked about him before. He's been on the show. A cat named Vintage. Vintage is a 10th Grand Don, which means he's a master 10 times over. He's been in the movies and the whole damn nine. And if you ever meet this cat, which by the way, Pac, I definitely want you to meet him. And Tate, I think you have met him.
I met him at the birthday party.
Yeah, yeah. This dude, nicest dude you ever met, right?
Oh yeah. But he's old
nice,
school.
Yeah, nice. You know, what are you drinking? You know, don't believe in firearms. You know, he's like, like one of them cats off the movies or something in real life. And it's weird because I forget when we hang out and stuff sometimes that, oh yeah, he is that dude. I'll like scroll across YouTube and be like, oh damn, that's right. Damn, how did he put his elbow in his asshole? How did he do that? But having said that, some cats decided mistakenly that was the day that they wanted to go. He broke his own personal, I'm all about peace, love, and all the above, because he was concerned about his brothers that was there. So he's like, I'll take that. And he did some horrible things to some folks because they crossed his personal. So I feel what you're saying, Pac. That was that line with him that you can't cross. You can say whatever you want to, and I've seen it. You can say whatever you want to say to him. He ain't worried about it. Water off the duck's back. But when he threatened his brothers, that was inexcusable. Because now, in the way he talks, when he talks about those things, he's saying, well, he says, I had to teach them. And he meant that in a legitimate sense, not like I had to teach them a lesson, but he means legitimately that he had to teach them that there was a better option that they could have exercised. And the way he put it was, the only lesson that they were willing to hear at that moment was the lesson of violence. So now I have their attention. So I think I educated, and he was dead ass serious. That's the coldest part about it. He wasn't on no puffing his chest stuff. He legitimately saw himself as being like your fourth grade teacher. Like, I'm going to teach you the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s or something like that. He just did it with an ABC and a 1, 2, 3 type thing. But in fact, I can't wait to have him back on the show. I definitely want him to meet both of y'all. He's actually he's doing a thing for this movie that we're involved in. He's the the fight coordinator, which is extremely cool. But anyway, Tate, I was going to ask you though. So like in the case of you, you're president of the or possibly the largest MRO in the state of Florida.
We're the only one.
Say again.
We're the only MRO.
Well, the only
that's
legitimate
licensed
MRO.
through the state.
But I'm saying as far as the MROs chapters in the state, you're pretty much the largest or close to it, one or the other. But so you have a different perspective. Have you guys ever been out doing something? And like you said, your chapter is more civilians than anything else. Have y'all been in an environment where somebody with a patch that was an MC tried to get into it with you guys, or in Florida, you got 300 members, you had to do something right? Is that peace, love, and all the above, or is there the occasional bullshit?
Well, there was a state meeting right before I joined, so about 6.5, 7 years ago, where a diamond club decided they were going to do a drive-by or a ride-by just to, try to ruffle some feathers, because from what I was told, they wanted access to our books, which doesn't make sense to me because, as you know, our books are open to anybody that shows up to a meeting.
Right.
But as soon as bikes started getting heard by security out front, everybody with a piece in the building was out front waiting on them. And I mean,
okay,
a lot of them, whether or not they would have actually done something, is to be seen. But I think just like in an MC, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Okay. So I guess
you know what? Here's something funny. This is the funniest shit that you're gonna lie. So earlier, people, I don't know which one of you guys said that. Oh, gang.
Yeah.
You know that mantra. If you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. That's gang bang 101.
Yeah.
That's gang bang 101. It's like if you fuck with the homie and if one homie getting down, we all getting down.
Oh yeah.
We'll deal with the repercussions of why you was getting down and was you wrong when we get back to the spot. But if you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. So this motorcycle culture, it has some gang banging in it. It has a lot of military in it, right?
Yeah.
Because you know why? Before, I don't know about now because I don't gang bang, but before there was honorable things in those cultures. There was honor amongst each other. The military will most likely had honor. Gang banging had honors so much that you wouldn't beat somebody up if they was walking with their mama or their grandma or they was with their kids.
Yeah. I was
what I mean? That was some mob shit. But there was that small bunch of honor. So even those little things have trickled over into the motorcycle community. And I think that's a good thing because, like you said, if you fuck with one of us, you got to fuck with all of us. And that'll make a person think twice. You know what I mean? That might open up some dialogue so we don't have to go to that fucked up place where we got to deal with those consequences.
I remember a while back, this in the history, a friend of mine was riding. He was flying his rags, and his wife was on the back of the bike, and these folks seen him. They wanted to get him. Allegedly, they followed him, but they wanted to hurt him. So they tried to shoot him, but they clearly could see that his wife was on the back of the bike, and they shot through her to kill him. And the thing that I heard most frequently, which I felt the same way, but I was surprised that I heard it echoed so much because there was times I felt like maybe some of the tradition of the set isn't there anymore. But the thing I heard was, how could they do that? Not that they did it to him, because that was, for lack of a better way to put it, he signed up for that. You know, I'm not saying that I wished it happened. I hated the fact that it happened, but the thing was, is his wife. That was one of those sort of things that once upon a time, come hell or high water, you ain't doing that. His wife, his kids, his job, there's certain things that just didn't happen. And for a number of folks still feel that way. But you're right, Pac, when you say there was honor in this thing, there was, still is, but it might have gotten eroded a little bit. But so I guess one of the things that makes me wonder is kind of like in that direction is that, so when the shit's going down, so of course I think we've established, hey, some cats are built for it, some cats ain't. Do you make a decision on somebody that's coming into your organization based on that, or how much of that's important, or is it?
Nah, nah. To me, it ain't. Cause as long as you down, and I know you're not gonna run, you gonna try. That's all that ever mattered to me.
Right.
Cause to me, Ice Cold Riders MC, it was we was bros, and it's like you always got a bro that can't get down. You always got a bro that's always good at talking to the girls. You always got a bro that's good at fixing bike. So
Right.
you can't you can't come be a part of my club because you don't know how to change a lock on the door. It didn't matter to me. What mattered to me is that was the principle of it, that you love riding bike, you love what we did for these kids, and
Yeah.
you wanted to be a part of something. And if it ever popped off, you was gonna try. You know what I mean? Try.
Gotcha. Like your heart's
Because
in the right place.
exactly.
All right. Gotcha.
Long as you don't Fred Flintstone up out of here, you
Yeah.
good.
Gotcha.
But if you get to doing like Fred Flintstone and get
Not
up
the
out of here,
Fred
then we got an
Flintstone.
issue.
Not
You
the
know what I mean?
Fred
You
Flintstone.
might get some discipline. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, hey, like Pac said earlier, that doesn't make or break if you're a good member for, let's just say, the organization. Because, like you said, we're a wheel. Every spoke has its place. Every spoke has its job. You may not be the one, if shit's going to go down, I want you there with me.
Right.
But
Right.
if I need somebody to go pick up my daughter from school, or, hey, we got an issue with this, I need you to go take care of it, they might be good for that.
Right.
So everybody's got their place.
Okay. I feel you. I feel you. And I think, you know what? I think if we was to do a summation of it, really, I think what we're saying is that there is, well, let me see. I don't want to be too presumptive. So is there a time and a place for violence? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sometimes you just gotta, as Charlie Murphy say, give a nigga the business. Sometimes you got to, because people don't understand. You know what I
Right.
mean? But most of the time you try
Right.
to temper that shit down. But sometimes words are not enough. You know
Right.
what I mean? That
Yeah.
sounds like a commercial. Sometimes
Yeah.
words are not
Yeah.
enough.
No, I feel
You
you.
just
I
have to
feel you.
slap a motherfucker up real quick and let him know what it is.
Hey,
Yo,
record that. That could be one of your public service announcements
I
on the
yeah.
know.
show. Words are not enough.
Sometimes words are not
PSA,
enough.
because
Man,
that's a Pacism.
that's
That's
a
a Pacism.
pockism.
Hell yeah. Look,
Hey, go
every
ahead,
time
Bo.
every time Pac's on this show, he does that. And
Oh
I
yeah.
know it's about that time because we done kept you because you're in a different
Hey.
time zone.
No, because you know I got to get up. It's what I'm
Yeah.
watching the clock. It's like 8:11. But before I go, can I say some shit real quick?
Yeah, man, please, please.
All right, I want to say what's up to my club, Ice Cold Riders out in Minot, North Dakota. They just held Picks for Kids. Sorry, Ice Cold Christmas. We started Ice Cold Christmas like I don't know when it was. It was forever ago. We've been around since 2010. So I think 2011, and what it was an event where kids came. They got a free picture with Santa, and we gave them a gift. We went out, raised the money for the gifts. We had rapping parties, and it's been going on since then. And I left, and the guys that took over and the bros that's up there, they held this event for the first time, and it turned out beautiful. So it made me feel real proud, and I know that the members that used to be there are really, really proud because uh, we were able to leave a lasting impact. And if we was just on some bullshit shit, I don't think they would have did it. But that was one of the reasons why a lot of guys joined our club because they seen what we did for the community. We just didn't talk about it. We was about it. And I want to let those guys up there in North Dakota know I'm super duper proud of y'all. And apparently I left the right people in charge, and I'm super duper happy, man. You guys make me proud to say I'm associated with y'all, and just keep it up. That's it.
I mean, look, I talk about ICR, Ice Cold Riders, all the time because it's an example of what the set is supposed to be. And still is in a lot of places, you know. And I think I was going to ask you earlier, Tate, like, what do you look for in a new member? And I know you're a cut above the rest in the sense that, yeah, you can say, yeah, anybody can join, but I know there's certain things because I know you well enough to know that you're looking at certain things when you have somebody come on board. Sometimes it's just numbers, or sometimes you'll look and say, hey, that dude will be a benefit to this MRO, to ABATE, because of such and such. But going back to Pac just for a second, brother, I'm proud by default. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I might not be an ice cold rider, but I feel like I'm at least a first cousin. Goddamn it, because I have some blessings from y'all that I don't know of nobody else. I got a belt buckle that, look, I show that joint off when people come over. I'm like showing it off, you know. But anyway, y'all showed me so much love, but more importantly, y'all show the community and the set love. So you're an example of how to do this shit, man. I mean that sincerely. So if, for those of y'all that's listening, if your club your MC, your SC, whatever it is, if y'all aren't doing something for the community, reevaluate what y'all are doing. You know, because this is a hedonistic lifestyle. This whole MC thing, we do it because I want to ride a motorcycle and I want to do this. And some guys are like, I want to drink and party and chase women and all this kind of stuff. And bikers, we get to do all of that for
You
ourselves, right?
know,
But
and you
what are
know
y'all doing
what?
for everybody else?
I'm gonna get off of here, but before I go, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say this: when you want to do something for your community, it's in you. Nobody
yeah,
should have to tell you to do it.
Oh yeah.
Nobody should have to make you do it.
yeah,
You got to stand for something, right? But the biggest thing to it is this: if you want people, the old war movies, I used to watch them all the time
yeah.
when I was little. Channel 5 in LA, they used to show the after, not the after school festival, but the Sunday Film Festival.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
every war movie, the goons would go in and they'd be handing out Snickers. And
yeah,
I didn't understand it. In one
yeah.
movie, the dude say, we gotta make the
Mastermind.
population love us.
Yeah,
We gotta make the
mastermind.
population love us. So we come through and we hand them out rations and they'll tell us what a terrorist is.
Right.
In the MC, if you in a community, you lived there all your life, or you just moved in, you're trying to set something up, the biggest way that you can make the community love you is to take care of that community. Don't be a taker, but be a giver. And if you
Sure.
give, then when something happens, those people that came to your event, they're not going to be pointing fingers saying, oh, it was the dirty bikers. They was be saying, I know those dudes. They was a good dudes. They was over here. They didn't have
Right.
nothing to do with it. So find what motivates you, find your passion, because if you find your passion, it makes it easier to do. And if it's not in you, it's just not in you. But I promise you, if you have an organization and everybody's a spoke in the wheel, there's that one spoke that knows what it is to be about community activism and getting involved in, whether it's helping the kids, battered women, shelters.
Yeah.
Let him take charge of that, and y'all just get in line and do what he say. Because I promise you, in the end, the whole MC community will win. Not only the MC community, but the community that you live in. That's
Hell
all I
yeah.
got, man.
Hey, Pop, I got to tell you, look, Chi-Town said much love, Pop. He was hollering at you the whole time. I don't know if you could see all of that, but look, much love to you, brother. We always appreciate you taking time out of your life to come and join us, and I'm hoping you're going to do that a little more frequently. Damn it,
Yes, sir.
I know dragged you out, kept you on here way too late, but look, say hello to the family for me, and you know, keep fucking with us, bro. Because look, you know
Hey,
I love for you, and
for sure.
and bring your ass to Florida when it ain't raining and whatnot.
Oh hell
I
yeah.
will be there. I'll
Hey,
be there. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
we got
having me.
stuff, man. Yeah, look,
February,
we
meet
got
us in
stuff going on.
Tallahassee.
Oh yeah. Oh, and y'all don't know it. I'm gonna y'all know Pac's gonna be in a movie, right? I'm just saying. All right, just put it out.
Man, I'm finna go to bed, man. I'll talk to y'all niggas
Hey,
later.
good night, brother. We'll talk to you next
Good
time.
night, Pop.
All right,
Good
man.
night, man. Thank y'all.
All right, now. Hey, that was Sean Pac from Ice Cold Riders, y'all. All right, man.
Man,
Yeah,
I
man.
remember him from back in the day, like round table days.
Yeah, man. Pac's been around for a minute.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'll tell you, he's an impressive dude, man. And I feel blessed to be able to kind of I try to surround myself with good positive influences like him. He says I'm an influence on him, but as much as he says that, I gotta keep it a buck, man. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the way this dude he's held down a whole entire community, and some of the things he did up there were just amazing. Where the school system up there didn't have money to feed the kids, you know, like the kids was going to have to go to
Yeah.
school and couldn't eat breakfast and lunch, and they were like, well, how much does it cost? Because, well,
Especially the kids that don't know if they're gonna get dinner.
yeah, and that was important. There was kids up there starving, and him and his club, they started by reaching in their own pocket, and they said, okay, we got this much money. And Pac and E, who I mentioned earlier, went and said, hey, well, let's get with some of these businesses in the area, and will you match what we got? And some of them said, yeah, we'll raise some more money and we'll do this and we'll do that. Next thing you know, what they literally did was they raised so much money that they fed they bought the vouchers, the school lunches and breakfasts for every kid in the whole damn area, every freaking kid.
Damn.
And I'm like, that was like a Hercules. And this all happened because they heard about a kid who couldn't eat breakfast because he didn't have money. And they another thing they did, no kidding. The thing that started it was they started every morning. They started making breakfast kit for the kids and their families. Hey, come through, get something to eat before you go to school. And they had club members who were going up, a bunch of them. They go up to the clubhouse every morning, put tables outside and cook breakfast, pancakes. And I was there, I seen it, pancakes, eggs, beef sausage for the ones that didn't eat pork, and all of this kind of stuff, and orange juice and all like this to get them something in their stomach before they went to school. And it was a community thing. And that's just
that's
one
the shit I'm talking
chapter of
about.
one club. Yeah.
That's the shit I'm talking about. Nobody sees the good. And it's not only the MROs and the social clubs. The diamond clubs are in it on it too. So are the 99ers. But nobody sees the good shit that we do for the community.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of the violence in our lifestyle comes from, is we're expected by the mass population that that's how we're going to act.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like I said, don't see the shit that we actually do. Yeah, they'll show up to the toy runs, but usually it's Toys for Tots, or in my case, LCUMA, which is a non-for-profit that a bunch of the organizations started in my area. But they see it as that's their thing. They're not seeing it as, your club or Ice Cold Riders are putting on the event. They see it as, it's a Toys for Tots event.
Right.
And the media doesn't give us the positive coverage we need. They only focus on the negative.
Right. And I'll tell you, it's funny you say that, because one of the things we have a really excellent company who does a lot of good things for the community.
Oh yeah,
because of who they are.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, because of who this club, they own some adult businesses, and because of that reason, they recently went to help out a really wonderful charity that works, is doing some wonderful things for kids. And this group was like, we can't take money from them because it's not going to be right. I understood that. And so because of that reason, we ended up, the Big BoneYard, getting involved, whereas we can help make sure that everything is branded properly so those kids and veterans actually get help. So we're going to be doing a lot of that in 2024. I haven't talked about it a lot, but we're going to be doing a lot of that in 2024 here at the Big BoneYard. And we're going to be trying to make some money and raise some money so that we can actually continue the mission of helping out. What we always say, and Pac was saying it, even though he didn't say the same way that we say it, we say, take care of the community and the community will take care of you. We believe that on the set. We believe that here at the show. And, so it's just a wonderful thing. Speaking of which, I don't know if anybody watching has not had a chance to get on the Big BoneYard Facebook page, do that. And while you're at it, before you do that, hit the like button, like, subscribe, share, all that old good shit. But definitely take a second. It takes 2 seconds. Hit the like button and, give us a holler, say something in the comments so that we know you're there. It helps the algorithm and all that kind of good shit. But check out the Big BoneYard. The reason I'm saying the Facebook page is because we put a really cool video up there showing some of the merch. But get that stuff. It helps us in the mission because, to keep good equipment, because the equipment I got is suffering. But to help keep good equipment or keep it running, or sometimes we got to run around and try to get some footage for different things, but it helps out. So if you do want to help out, I'll throw up the info so you can, if you want to make a donation, do it. If you want to buy some merch, do it. But at the very least, go to the Big BoneYard on Facebook and help a brother out. Fuck with us. And if you happen to run into Tate in the street, remember he is violent, so you got to get that man swing first.
Only when I gotta be. I mean, so I got a story for you. I've been to
Yeah.
numerous clubhouses across the state.
Yeah.
Some of which I've caged to. I pulled up at some where the person that was riding with me, I'm like, hey, grab my piece out of the glove box. And that's when I'm riding. That's where I keep my wallet 9 times out of 10. So they're going through the glove box. They're throwing everything in the back seat. And they're like, I can't find it. Are we going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? What do we need it for? What do we need it for? Ironically enough, your birthday party was one of them incidents. And I'm like, nah, dude, I just need my wallet. They hand me my wallet, we get out. But it's like,
Yeah, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that's like, and that's where everybody's got their place. But going to some clubhouses, maybe not, because honestly, you never know. And if shit does go down, are you going to be the guy that, I'm out there helping the club and you're behind the bar cowering like a freaking Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. And see that's I think that's one of the things, because we were having this conversation on the Big BoneYard Facebook page, and the conversation was somebody brought that up. It's like, hey, if I'm getting it in and you're trying to find the back door, I got a problem with that. So the question became, because it was all about, are you harmless in the sense that you're just going to take it? Excuse me. I think the way that the guy meant it was harmless in the sense that you ain't going to do nothing no matter what the hell.
Yeah.
But I think what Pac was talking about is harmless in the sense that, everybody's harmless until you bring them to that point to where they need to be otherwise.
And I would have to agree with you on that. I think that's more peaceful, because you know how to keep peace until it gets to that point. But like I've said, some people I've ridden with, they're harmless. If shit pops off, they're going to be the one running to the bike to hide.
Right.
Let's get the hell out of here. Well, yeah, but let's make sure we get out of here safely.
Yeah.
Let's not just run.
Yeah, right on. Well, brother, I tell you what, we've been in it for 1 hour and 13 minutes. And I just got to tell you, I appreciate hugely you taking time out of your life to come and fuck with us tonight. And
every Sunday, man, every Sunday.
We're going to do this again in about 7 days. Wait a minute. What day is Christmas? All right,
Christmas is Monday.
Monday. Okay. So, oh, damn. All right. I guess we're going to be doing this on Christmas Eve. Okay. That's all right. I like that. Y'all my peoples. But I tell you what, before we go, if you didn't hit the like button, please do it. Check us out. Y'all know if you missed this show or you missed half of it or whatever, you can check us out anytime on YouTube. There's a lot of shows. We've been doing this for quite a while. So go back, check out some of the old shows and, see what, if anything, we're doing and talking about there. And other than that, man, I got to tell you again, Tate, hold on, let me do that. Hey, thank you for being here, brother.
Not a problem.
We've got coming up, we've got the A-Bates ride on the Capitol. That's coming up. That's a wonderful thing. If you want to get together with, I don't know, a few hundred of your favorite bikers and take a ride up to Tallahassee to talk to a few of your favorite or unfavorite politicians to tell them about your opinions and feelings on stuff, fuck with us. Reach out to myself or reach out to Tate. If you hit me up, I'll make sure you get his info. If you're not a member of A-Bate anywhere, Florida or otherwise, if you're not a member of A-Bate, look into it. A-Bate does some wonderful things all across the country, and definitely get involved. It's not even that much money. It's like $20. You get $3,000 or $4,000 of insurance.
$4,000 life and death, or accidental life and death.
Yeah, accidental death and dismemberment.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but you get $4,000 accidental death and dismemberment, whether you're on a motorcycle or not. God forbid anything should happen, but you can't get that for $20 anywhere, and that's $20 for the whole year. So find your local A-Bate chapter and join. You don't have to be in a certain area to join a chapter in a different area. So if you want to find out about joining A-Bate, wherever you are, reach out to me here at the Big BoneYard or reach out to Tate. Whenever you can, get involved. Or if you just have questions, we'll let you know about that. But other than that, y'all keep watching the Big BoneYard. We're going to keep talking about all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. Also, if you have a certain subject or a person that you want to see on the show, let me know, and I'll make sure we make that happen. or unless it's like an asshole or something, and
Yeah, they don't want me on here again. No, but seriously, send me to his comments because I'll jump on whenever he wants.
Hell yeah, that'll work. That'll work. But look, in the meantime, I'm gonna tell y'all again, man. Thank y'all for joining us. We're gonna do this again in about a whole 7 days. But in the meantime, we're out. Y'all have a great night.
Welcome to the Big BoneYard. Enter at your own risk.
Decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.